Yo, everyone, it is Old Man G. I am back again with the Red Devil Live podcast. I'm joined by Vilton, Damien, and Ahmed, and we're going to go in. We've got a lot to talk about, but before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, @UnitedX, and smash the notification button for latest. I was going to say Manchester United, but we're talking European football news as well. So first and foremost, guys, how you doing?
Good.
I'm all right. I'm good.
Ooh, I'm getting some comments. I mean,
Obviously, bro.
I mean, I know we're going to start off with it's Friday. It's funny, we all like a bit of banter and sarcasm, humor. We're going to be talking about Hazard actually in this podcast, but I guess this sets the scene where people still believe that Eden Hazard is better than Cristiano Ronaldo in 2021. I mean, let's be real here. Does anyone want to address that before we get into
I think it's debatable.
debatable, questionable? I would use the term
debatable. I don't know. Ronaldo has been a bit dodgy this season. Like the only thing he does is to tap in goals, and when he doesn't, he's non-existent.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Are you serious right now, bro? Like you comparing Ronaldo to Hazard, bro? Have some sense, bro.
Vilton is Adam Talk says actually, all right, Diallo's done a madness, 3 goals, 4 assists in his first matches. Also, can I come on? Not for this show, unfortunately, Adam. So if we get involved in the comments, I'm going to message you separately about something else. I'm a United podcast I'm doing. That's good regarding Diallo because I think he wants him to in the league. And Damien, who's obviously here, says Griezmann, Fatsard. Well, we're going to talk about that soon. But before we get into it, Liverpool versus Manchester City. That's the big Premier League game of the weekend, anyway. Predominantly because it's a question of who's going to win the title. Well, not necessarily who's going to win the title or not, but you'd think that this is basically Liverpool's last shot to win the title. I think everyone was surprised that they lost to Brighton midweek. Certainly, I was surprised. And if Liverpool are going to be in a title race, they've got to beat City. So I'm going to get stuck into it. Bilton, do you think that Liverpool have a chance? Are they underdogs going into this game given their performance?
Yeah, for sure. Liverpool have to be the underdog in this game because they're so inconsistent for some reason. Ever since that West Brom game, they just kind of dip. I don't know what's going on because you can't really say it's Van Dijk because it's not defend. It's just they're not scoring goals. But I thought they were back after that West Ham, that fantastic performance by Liverpool. I thought they were gonna start hitting form, but here we go. They lost to Brighton in midweek. Now you have City. I've always picked City to win the league just because Pep Guardiola is really good at winning the league. He's just really amazing at doing that. So I've always picked them to win it. Wait, give me a second. But yeah, I don't think Liverpool's going to be City this weekend. I really don't. I think City. The best result I see Liverpool getting this game is a draw. To be honest with you, I just think that City is so good defensively right now. Pep finally got the right balance. Yes, they're not scoring a lot of goals as they were the past few seasons, but they're just getting that 3 points. So I really think the title race is over unless Liverpool somehow, even if Liverpool somehow do beat City. That's the thing with Liverpool. They play really good against the big teams in the Prem, but against the lower ranked teams, they don't perform. They don't get the points. So even if they do beat City, yes, they will make the title race a little bit more fun, but I don't think so. I think the title race is over. I think City's got this. It's City title to lose, the way I see it. This game, I will say 2-1 City, but it could also be a draw. 2-1 City. I'll go 2-1 City.
Fair enough. Damien, what are your thoughts?
To be honest, I think City's gonna beat Liverpool quite easily.
Okay.
Liverpool haven't been great for like 10 matches right now.
Yeah.
They had little spells of where they look good, but other than that, they've been quite inconsistent. So, but I think City should be able to handle Liverpool. They should probably have no problems. And I would say 3-1 City.
Ahmed, I'll just mute Dyer just 2 seconds. Ahmed, what are your thoughts on this game?
Easy dub for City.
Okay.
I've been telling this to you guys a long time ago.
Mm.
Klopp is a system manager. When his system doesn't work, he gets in trouble, and Liverpool looks clueless when they play. And if we're being honest, I honestly think that City has been better than Liverpool this past 2 years. And why they win, not maybe last year, but the year before when City won the league, the year before that. When City play Liverpool, usually they go toe to toe, and Liverpool win through the counter attack. But I think Guardiola would be smarter this time. I don't think they will go all out or play toe to toe, considering the injuries they have also. So I hope and think that he will play a bit more defensive like he has done this season.
Yeah.
And maybe he will hit the City on the Liverpool on the counter. So it will be interesting, but I think it will be easy for City. I don't think it will be a big win like 4-0, 3-0. I think it will be close, but I think City will keep the clean sheet and win like 2-0.
I mean, so before I go to Daya, who I know is the Liverpool fans, I'm interested to see on your thoughts. I think my only counter to what everyone said, because obviously everyone has City's favourites, and I think they're right. My only issue is that sometimes Pep Guardiola in the big games, with these big games, tends to overcomplicate things. And to be honest, aside from when he beat Chelsea, which to be honest, let's be real, by that time Lampard lost the dressing room. The Chelsea team just didn't care. All the other big games, we're talking Leicester, Spurs, even United to a certain extent, he didn't get that much. And he I think lost to Spurs, lost to Leicester, drew with Manchester United, and then drew with Liverpool initially, and obviously beat Chelsea. But like I said, I'm not going to really count Chelsea just because of what was happening with Chelsea and Lampard. So my only issue with Pep in this game is he going to just play the way that he's play his system and trust that? Or is he going to, like he's done so many times in the past, when the stakes are high against these types of teams, overcomplicate things? Because against the small teams, it's fine. He'll put 5 past Burnley, West Brom. And at the end of the day, that's how you win a league. It's not by beating the big teams. It's about putting away the rest of the league. My thing is that I just wonder if Pep overcomplicates this game, if that makes any sense, guys.
That's true. That's true.
Dahe was here, but he's just disappeared. So I don't know whether it's his connection. So I know he has some connection issues. So I guess going to this game. Well, okay, let me ask this question. What do Liverpool need? Because we're all saying City are favourites. What do Liverpool need to happen? What needs to happen for them to actually beat City, if at all?
They have to score. Obviously, that's the main thing, but they have to score because it's not really their defense. Because we all know Alisson is good. Yes, I know they don't have Van Dijk, but the defense been okay. Yes, I know Jones made a mistake yesterday in the Brighton game, but they just have to score because if you let City score, and Liverpool haven't been good enough to break down team because City are really good defensively right now. So I don't know how Liverpool is going to break down this side because I'm not a stat merchant, but when you look at the stats, Ederson hasn't been really tested that much in the past few games that City have played. But at the same time, though, you could make an argument City hasn't really played against a really good team yet.
Yeah.
Since you could, Chelsea weren't that good, but you could make an argument, yeah. But so Liverpool have to score. But if you let City score first, because you're gonna have to come out and what City are really deadly on the counter attack. But it's still at the end of the day, Liverpool are the defending champ. I'm not just gonna say City's gonna not 100% sure City's gonna win this game because Liverpool could surprise us and win this game. But my thing with Liverpool, even if they do beat this game, are they gonna be good enough to beat the bottom team in the Prem? Because that's where they've been dropping points again. Because they beat Arsenal, they beat Chelsea, they drew against City, then they beat Spurs twice, home and away. So it just the low block team, they just don't know how to break those teams down. I don't know what's going on because And the thing about Liverpool, they rely a lot on Salah and Mane to score goals because Firmino is not in form right now. I don't know if Jota's going to be fit in that game because will be even if he's fit. I don't think Klopp's going to start him.
Because from what that's what I was hoping that Dahi or Liverpool fan would sort of be on, because I'm not 100% sure who's actually fit. I was expecting.
I think Mane is injured.
Mane is injured. Okay.
Or according to fantasy football, it says 75% chance of him not playing.
Because I was under the impression, because when I heard Klopp speaking against Brighton, he said that it was kind of like Mane touch and go, but it sounded like he wanted to rest him against Brighton so he could play him against City.
Yeah, maybe.
It doesn't sound like Jota's back yet. So really, it's basically going to be this team plus or minus Mane coming back into it from what I can see.
But can I reply to Wilton? Because I actually don't agree. Like, Liverpool has never depended on individual brilliance. They rely on the system. And right now, I know it's against a big team now, but against the lower teams, the system doesn't work. It's clear to see they're clueless. They can't do the crossing thing anymore or play from the wing backs. They need to do something different. And that's where I want to criticize Klopp, because we saw it in the beginning of the season. Pep had a hard time, but he adapted his style and changed it. Now, let's see if Klopp do the same, because in my opinion, he's a system manager. I don't think he can change his system. He's not a philosopher like Pep or Tuchel on those managers. So I really don't know if they can come back. And about this game, like, it all depends if City plays into Liverpool's hand.
Yeah.
Like I said before, if they go to toe, I think Liverpool can win this because they love the counter attack. That's where they are the most dangerous.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how City plays. Let's see if Pep is arrogant or if he actually thinks and adapts to the opponent. But it will be interesting to see.
Fair enough. I was supposed to come with Young and saying Liverpool taking the mantle across and well, to be fair, they've been doing that for quite some time. That's what Robertson and Trent were doing, and they were the best at it. Like, crossing inshallah is fine when you got that precise delivery and you've got those finishes. I think the issue now is that, they're crossing, but it's not going to anyone, not finishing, and that's a problem. And Mo says, Pep calling out Klopp was funny as fuck. Will a loss for Paul be the end of Klopp? He's been moaning non-stop this season. Yeah, did anyone get that? What's this thing that Pep was calling out Klopp? Does anyone know what that was?
I heard it, but I forgot. But I think it wasn't a dig at Klopp. I think he just talked about it. Yeah, I think he said that you can't win a title with tired players or something like that. Because Klopp always complains about my players are tired. The games are too close to each other.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think it was a dig at Klopp. I just think he wanted to say to the team that you can't win a title if you're tired.
Fine. Okay, I see. So maybe it was
I can be wrong, but
fine. Mo, if you're watching, let me know. See what it is, because like I said, I didn't. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch little Klopp's press conferences, in part because he just seems to moan most of the time these days. So, what's going on? It's just like moan. Like, bro, listen. Like, you've had 2 seasons where you've had players that have been fit and well, and this is the first season where they haven't been injured. It happens. It is what it is. So before we move on, score predictions, guys. Bilton, why don't you go?
I would go to be on the safe side, so Liverpool and City fan don't hate me. I say it's gonna be a draw.
Okay. Damon?
3-1 City.
3-1 City. Okay, fair enough. And Ahmed, what's your thoughts?
2-0 City.
2-0 City. Is that Abdullahi? 2 Chelsea. That's got to be Abdullahi. Let me.
That's
Abdullahi,
me. That's me.
He's back.
You're always changing your name, man.
I told you 2 years apprenticeship is over, man. You have a new regime. I don't know that man kill me, man. He kill me. He kill my life, man.
Well, what are your thoughts on this derby coming up? Liverpool versus Pep. We all know you have an agenda against Pep. We know you have an agenda against Pep, but everyone else has said that Pep has pretty much got this dub. What do you think?
I think for people who know me, my agenda with Pep is firstly, he hasn't won the Champions League, and secondly, I wanted him to change his tactics from the 4-3-3 Gangan pressing, the tiki-taka football he always play. But recently, he has changed it. So my agenda with him at the moment is over. But for it to be officially over, he has to win the Champions League. For me to guarantee that, yeah, Pep Guardiola is this, is that. For me, at the moment, I'm still waiting for him to deliver me that CL. Once he win that CL in Man City, I'm dropping my agenda with him.
So going into this game, do you think that City are favourite? Do you think City will win, or do you think Liverpool can do something?
I got the wood. Liverpool already form my hand, man. They form my hand. From day one, I'll be like Liverpool all the way from the beginning of the season. If you remember when I did my prediction, I was like Liverpool this, Liverpool that. But man, I can't lie to you, man. I don't know what Klopp and the players are doing. Salah, Mane, they have not been in format. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know. I think I'm gonna slide. It's difficult. I'm still gonna stick with Liverpool because I still don't trust Pep a little bit because he overdo stuff in which he doesn't need to overdo.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna go with Liverpool because I trust them to do it.
Okay. And what's your score prediction?
Wait, is Mane playing or no?
So this is. Wait, we're not sure. I mean, I think that he might be because when I watched the press conference against Brighton, it sounded like he wanted to rest Mane so he could be fit for the City game, which makes a lot of sense. But it sounds like he hasn't mentioned him in the press conference. So I don't know whether that means he's definitely out or, I mean, in fact, let me just quickly just Google it. So Liverpool FC, this is just a Liverpool FC update, and they're saying, provided Sadio and Fabinho, so who's obviously been out, will be in parts of team training today. Then we will see. Okay, so basically Fabinho. I mean, that potentially does make a difference because I don't think Fabinho was playing in the thing. So if Fabinho then comes into that team, then maybe. And maybe Henderson can come into the midfield, and that might change things. And obviously, Mane playing obviously changed things as well. So yeah, so that's what it says. But anyway, yeah.
If Mane plays, I'm going for 3-1 Liverpool. If Sadio Mane play, 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
If Mane doesn't play, I'm seeing a draw in this match.
Okay.
Because people may say Mo Salah this, but that LDO is for me is kind of is pivotal for what the club wants to do in that Liverpool. Okay. If Sadio Mane doesn't turn up, I don't think Liverpool needs to Liverpool play a lot of football. So I'm gonna go with it's tough because Ruben Diaz and John Stones, those partnership one day it has to be broken one day. And I think this weekend has to be the day in which it has to be broken. So I think I'm gonna go with 3-1 Liverpool for me. 3-1 Liverpool.
Fair enough, Chief. Fair enough. Shouts out, yo. SSB28 says, yo, what's up? Thank you for coming in, Chief. And Biltons will be right back. That's fair enough. So let's quickly move on to. Oh, okay. I can't go to this topic because I need Bilton to be here. So I'll move on and come back to it. But Damon's here, so let's talk about this. Barcelona. Barcelona. I guess what I'm talking about this is that it's kind of the first time. I mean, maybe Damon can, but this game against Granada, I know it's the Copa del Rey. I know, it's not the league, it's not the Champions League or anything. But given the fact that they were 2-0 down and they managed to come back, I've not seen this season, and certainly under Koeman, this, this spirit, wanting to come back, being able to come back, this sort of almost mentality, of trying to do something. And obviously, you can see the result. Griezmann obviously scored 2 goals. Is Griezmann better than Hazard? I'm sure is at this point. 5-3, obviously, over after extra time. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that, like, the character of this team, Messi obviously doing his thing. And my thing is that I think we can almost say that Atletico Madrid have won the Liga. I'm not saying it's a definite, but we're close to. Sorry?
It's done. It's done.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. So I don't think there's any real worth in actually debating that in terms of league Barcelona going to it. But what I want to see is that, given that there's a very good chance that Messi might leave in the summer, is there a chance that he will win some silverware with Barcelona before he leaves, in particular the Champions League? I guess is what I'm saying is that going into especially the PSG game of this regalvanized Barcelona, can this Barcelona side kick on and cause PSG damage? So I'll go to Damien first and then Ahmed, because obviously you're the PSG fan. But Damien, what are your thoughts on this game and just going forward?
Well, this game was crazy. I mean, at 2-0 down, it was like the 87th minute. I thought like, we're gonna lose and it's gonna be another upset. People are gonna start bannering us. I'm like, oh god. Then Griezmann came in clutch in there. Well, it was a little like lucky deflection, but he still nodded it in. And then Alba did it at like the last few moments, but yeah, it shows great character of the team. And I was very happy from that performance and the will to never say no, and for us to win a trophy. Well, we're already in the semis and we're gonna go against Sevilla, so it's not gonna be easy against Sevilla. So yeah, and for the Champions League, of course, anything can happen in 180 minutes in a game. We've seen that multiple times. That we've seen Ajax done it against Real. So, of course, we can't get knocked. PSG shouldn't take us lightly, but
Great.
I feel like we're starting to get form at the right time, and I think we could give them a game. I don't know if we'll, come out of it, but I think we can give them a game.
Fair enough, Damien. Now, Ahmed, I know PSG are favourites, but obviously we've seen, especially this over 2 legs, we've seen PSG in the past underestimate teams and maybe think that it's going to be a walkover. Of course, I know Verratti and Mbappe, so you've got the quality, but
I think the format has been changed in Champions League to 1 leg tie because of the COVID-19. So it's gonna be on neutral venue.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, UEFA said they're gonna make an announcement on Monday. It's gonna be on neutral venue, so no 2 leg tie anymore.
I don't think, not maybe this round of 16, maybe the quarters.
No, they said the round of 16 because of the traveling stuff from the Spanish to the German.
Because I knew that the German, because
the Spanish too. I just got a confirmation from Chelsea app that the Atletico Madrid match will be on the neutral venue, possibly also to define the PSG Barcelona is going to be on neutral venue. So it's going to be 1 leg tie.
That's interesting. Well, actually, in fact, let's actually talk about that. Let me stop this because you reminded me, Abdullah, because I did remember, because I remember reading just today that the German government had basically said that that they were basically that I think they rejected RB Leipzig's bid for an exemption to play the Liverpool game.
Yeah, it's also confirmed from Chelsea app now. I just saw the Chelsea app on my laptop now that it's going to be on the neutral venue. Atletico Madrid said if the Spanish league doesn't give them the guarantee for the COVID-19, it's going to be on neutral venue.
So let me clarify that, Abdullah. In fact, let's just take a brief detour because that is a kind of important point to mention. Let me just banner this out so I can timestamp it later. So just Champions League matches. So from what I've seen, from what I've read, essentially what's happened is that obviously different governments around Europe have put certain restrictions, and sporting events are not exempt to said restrictions. So that would be the case of Leipzig, Bayern, etc. What I want to add to Abdullah's point, and we'll talk about just what this means, is that from what I've been told, I don't know whether UEFA is going to make a different announcement, is that UEFA are telling the individual clubs to organize neutral venues. So in the case of Leipzig have to organize a neutral venue in time, arguably by Monday, to play the game, or negotiate with Liverpool to swap. Liverpool obviously don't want to do that in terms of swapping the venue. So if they can't get a neutral venue, they have to forfeit the tie, and it'll be automatic 3-0. Not that UEFA themselves are saying, right, we are now going across the board, just doing a neutral venue. That's not what's happening from what I've read anyway. And why I'm bringing up is my concern is that, you have to get, UEFA has to agree to neutral venue, the club has to agree to neutral venue. It has to also be within the guidelines of the country. And are we going to see a situation where they're just going to be certain clubs that are not going to be, essentially, UEFA screwed up here because they knew this ahead of time and they really should have just said, listen, it's not going to be 2 legs. We're going to just get the neutral venue and do it like it did last year. They didn't do that. And we're now in a situation where individual clubs have to decide their own venues. And we could be in a scenario where certain clubs may have to forfeit the first leg, which could be crazy. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, guys. Just as a brief detour, Abdullahi briefly spoke on it. So Ahmed, what are your thoughts on that?
I really don't know the situation, but for me, something that works. Like, I don't want to cancel the Champions League, obviously. I just want something that works. If we can do it in a neutral stadium, I'm not against that. I would be against 1 leg, maybe, even though we were successful at it last season. But let's be honest, if we played against Atalanta, it would be easier in a 2-legged game than 1 leg because everything can happen in 1 game. So I prefer a two-leg Champions League game rather than 1. But in a way, for your team, you rather want 2 legs, but it's more funnier to watch it when it's 1 leg. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything can happen. It's a bit like the World Cup feeling. But I don't know. I just have also a feeling that UEFA will mess this up in some way because they usually do. So I don't know. I just wanted to fix it.
Yo, Indiana, thank you for joining in the stream, man. Appreciate it.
How's it going on, man?
We're doing good. Thanks. Well, so we're just briefly, actually, we've taken minor detour. We're talking about what seems to be going on in the Champions League and the fact that clubs seem to be now having to organize neutral venues because of certain restrictions by their respective governments. I think the recent was, Chelsea and Leipzig as well. And are we going to see a situation where our clubs, essentially the 2 questions are clubs going to be able to organize neutral venues? And if they're not, are we going to see a situation where clubs have to forfeit games because they cannot agree a neutral venue with UEFA and with the opposing teams, if that makes any sense? Essentially, is the round of 16 screwed because of this predicament that we find ourselves in?
What you think? Firstly, that's UEFA's job, no? UEFA have to step in. They can't. If 2 clubs are disagreeing on the game, there's too much.
No, it's gonna be decided on Monday. On Monday, will be decided on Monday. Either they use the neutral venue or they forfeit the match. It's gonna be decided on Monday.
No, so this is what I'm saying. So from what I read, because I specifically gave an example of the Leipzig-Liverpool situation. What's in the Leipzig-Liverpool situation, RB Leipzig basically, because you have every government has certain exemptions. So they apply for an exemption under the German government so they could play Liverpool games. So Liverpool players could fly into Leipzig for the time. The German government rejected it because they said this is not a special circumstance. Understandably, because sports isn't, let's be real. It's not an emergency circumstance. So because of that, getting that exemption this week, they contacted UEFA, and UEFA said you have up until Monday to be able to organize a neutral venue that we need to agree on, that Liverpool needs to agree on to play the game. As far as the UK is concerned, Leipzig can come to the UK because Germany is not on the exemption list. This is the problem here, because certain countries have certain nations on exemption lists and not. So Germany, from what I remember, isn't on the UK's exemption list, so they can fly into the UK, no problem. But we can't, and that's where the issue comes. And so I think that's why UEFA should have gone neutral anyway, but in a difficult situation because each government has a different set of exemptions. Does everyone understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I understand. I still think that UEFA have to be the ones to step in because, well, they can't just. Here's the thing: if one side decides no, I'm not agreeing to this venue, does that mean they're going to try? They have to play the game.
Or
They have to play the game. UEFA have to step in, no?
They'll forfeit. That's what they use. They said UEFA said to RB Leipzig, if you can't organize a neutral venue, you have to give the 3-0 automatic forfeit to Liverpool. And my concern is that you have a situation where some teams might be able to, some teams aren't. And so let's say the case of Gladbach against City, for example, they can't do it, they can't organize it, so it's basically a buy for City. And how fair is the Champions League now when certain teams will get buys because of circumstances out of their control and others? Does it not make the Champions League, does it not diminish the value of the Champions League if that happens?
Yeah.
On the panel, guys?
Yeah, it does. Of course it does. The game's not being played, then it does.
Damien, Ahmed, Abdullahi, what are your thoughts?
I think I love what Indiana said. UEFA have to step up. They have to step in because it's not fair to Leipzig that they don't play the match, they forfeit the match. Leipzig were like, why would we forfeit the match when we know we have a chance of winning? Why do we forfeit the match when we know we have a chance of winning? It's gonna be a problem for UEFA because they have to find a solution to this. They have to make it the decision. Do we play one-legged tie from the round of 16, quarters and semis, or do we make a two-legged tie? That's where the decision has to come in. Because if they want to decide like one-legged tie to the semi-final, fair enough. So everybody will know it's one-legged tie. If you can beat a team 10-0, go ahead and beat 10-0. So there have to be a condition like a solution that okay, it's gonna be a one-legged tie. Good, fair enough. Till the semi-final, we're good with it. Like the last Champions League, where everything was one-legged because the Lisbon was available to kind of host the Champions League. Now they're gonna have a play on Istanbul, on Turkey. So do Turkey have more? Do they have more space to kind of accommodate the whole 16 teams? I'm not sure about. The UEFA have to step in to give us a solution to this.
I guess we'll watch this space. I mean, Ahmed, Dame, do you have any other thoughts?
This surely can't happen. Like, I don't think forfeit would be an option because, first off, they will be heavily criticized if that happens. And I think it would be a situation like in Serie A, where Napoli and Juventus played each other. And Napoli had to forfeit because they have Corona. And they got so criticized. And Napoli appealed it after. And then they're playing the game again. So it would just be a mess. Like this is UEFA's responsibility. They need to figure something out.
Agreed.
But
can I just pick up on that comment, Odia? Sorry.
Go on.
This one here, go for it.
I kind of get what you mean, but there is a home advantage in that every pitch is different. There's a different feeling to when you play at home to playing away. I know that the whole fans thing, and don't get me wrong, the fans at Anfield is another level. Anybody who's been to Anfield, trust me, it's another level at that place. A big reason for why they won the league, in my opinion. So I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, the pitches are all slightly different sizes. They've got parameters. They're not exactly the same. It's a different feeling to playing at home to it is to playing away. Players are more well rested. They can stay at home, those types of things. So there is definitely an advantage to playing two legs at home.
Isn't Liverpool's pitch a bit smaller than others? I've heard it. I think in that case it suits them because the pressing game, if it's smaller pitches, it suits them.
And even just general things like travel and stuff like that, more things with tiredness and stuff like that. So it just, and psychologically maybe sometimes, because like a part of me thinks that if you beat someone at home and then maybe a week later they're coming again, I don't know whether you could psychologically gotten over that as easy as you were if you were going and playing that team at home, just on a purely psychological front, because they've already dominated you already. If that makes sense.
Who have they got? Sorry, RDS. Who's Liverpool got? Leipzig. Okay.
So, we'll watch this space. I'll certainly keep everyone updated because if obviously things do change, I think it's something that might be interesting to talk about because, as I said before, we've got a scenario where clubs had to issue forfeits, then I don't really know how you can take the Champions seriously going forward, irrespective of who wins it, because you've not really given the teams a fair chance to compete from a circumstance that wasn't fair enough. It was in their control, like they doped or some other sort of thing, or they cheated. That's one thing, but this is not in the club's control, and you're forcing to forfeit them. So that would be, I don't know how that would go. What are we talking about? Yeah. Oh, Barcelona. Yeah, Ahmed. Regarding Barcelona and PSG, and should PSG be? Should they not underestimate Barca, given their history? What do you think should happen?
Look, I give credit to Barca. They are in good form, but let's be honest. Who have they played? The biggest team they have played is Atletico Bilbao, and they lost in the final. So, but I would say that players that flopped or played badly this season are playing good right now. Griezmann is having a good form right now. Even Busquets is playing good. That's a big surprise. So they are looking good. But for the game against PSG, like, the most important thing for us is to have everybody fit. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. I want all the 11 players on that pitch. If we do so, because let's be honest, guys, that's the only problem PSG have, are injuries. We just need to keep everyone fit to have a first team 11. We have never had that in the Champions League, where everybody is fit. So important players like Marquinhos, Verratti needs to be fit. And if we have those players, I'm very confident, but I'm still nervous because I'm always nervous for these type of games.
So I guess the question, we could talk about fitness with, like, because you're right, PSG have never had a situation where that has been the case. Do you think that all those players will be fit? Is there a good chance that they will be?
This is a problem. On Sunday, we're playing Marseille. And they are a bunch of pricks. And they will tackle Neymar like... they will be nasty in that game. So this maybe sound crazy, but I really hope that Poch rests some players.
Okay.
I really hope he rests some players. I don't want any injuries.
Okay.
So especially Neymar, they will tackle Neymar. So that's no.
we're gonna in fact, because in fact, let's just go there. Let's just go there, because I really wanted to bring this up. This was an interesting development, obviously, last Sunday from a team. And in fact, to be honest, the Ligue 1, we still expect PSG to win Ligue 1, but Neymar obviously was 2 penalties, but Lorient got that win, got that dub. Ahmed,
welcome to Poch.
Welcome to.
I know Indiana hates
Poch. He's a fraud.
Do you want to, before I go to the others, Ahmed, are you able to explain this result, or?
Okay.
You know?
I don't know where to start, but about the game, like, this shows how shit our sporting director is, and I have been saying it for a long time. When we don't have players like Verratti and Marquinhos, who are we replacing them with? Danilo Pereira. That's the problem. Replace Marquinhos with Thilo Kehrer. They're not good enough. But I won't use that excuse on this game, because Lorient, they are a relegation team, and our quality is far better. So I won't use that excuse, and I won't even use the other excuse that Verratti and Marquinhos didn't play, because everybody talks about Mbappe and Neymar, those star players, but those two are the most important in our team, especially Marquinhos. The guy he's so composed and brings the calmness in the team that we really need. So those are we really need those guys in the big games. But this game wasn't just good, and I need to criticize Poch as well. The guy has a problem, like Zidane. He used the same formation all the time. When players are injured, you need to adapt. You can't play Danilo Pereira in Verratti's role, because that guy is a fridge. He can't move like Verratti. He can't pass like Verratti. So you need to change the system. if someone is injured, you need to change the style of play. You can't keep playing this. Just replace the guy and play the same system. But overall, like I'm not going on Poch. I don't want to criticize him too much because he hasn't been in the
I
PSG
will if
job.
you want.
He hasn't been manager for such a long time. But it's so much to blame. I blame Leonardo for the bad signings. I wasn't on his case when we had Tuchel because Tuchel wasn't happy with the players, and I don't know. Look,
Thank you for giving us to Thomas Tuchel, bro. Thank
you. When Poch has his first team, we play beautiful football. It's ridiculous. When he has Verratti, and he even said after the game, we need to learn to play without Verratti. I think he said it. We need to learn to play without Verratti, and that's crazy to say because we have Neymar, Mbappe, Icardi, Kimpembe, but it's true. He's so important to our play. So, but when he has Paredes, Verratti, all those type of players, we are dangerous. So again, against Barcelona, we need everybody fit. But moving forward, that's a problem for Poch. He needs to adapt his system when we have players injured. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Fair enough. And before I go to the others, obviously that's the table right there. Lille, Lyon, PSG, Monaco. Is there a Ligue 1 title race, or let's be real, a PSG won this? I mean, this is just, the table isn't really real, and PSG have already got this dub.
We'll win it. The thing with Lyon throughout the years, they have had a really good squads. Like we saw it in the Champions League last year. They had a good squad before that when Ndombele was in the team. But they are so inconsistent in the league. This season they have been good. I need to be honest, but throughout the season they are so inconsistent, losing to lower teams. And they're a bit like Atletico Madrid throughout the seasons, losing, drawing against small teams. So, but I still think we got this. It is half of season left. So,
let Indiana talk about Poch. Over to you, Indiana. What's your thoughts on?
I don't know why you got him. I'm not even joking. That I don't see. It tells me that PSG don't have any major plans, if I'm honest. I don't understand why people go for Poch. Why a big club will go for Poch like that. I don't get it. He's won nothing. And I know that's like a thing to say, but we forget in the Premier League, he probably had the best squad at the time. I'm not going to, like, the best centre-back partnership, Harry Kane on form, great players in there, Dembele. Like, nobody could get the ball off Dembele. And you're right, he's stubborn. He's very stubborn. And he'll stick to what he believes. I think that's why he wanted Dele Alli. I just don't and please don't credit him with that Mickey Mouse Disneyland Paris trophy. He didn't even get them to the stage to go and win that. Like, let's not do that. Let's see him win the league and really challenge in the Champions League before we can start saying that there are other problems other than the manager, because I base every manager on what they have achieved. I give them time to achieve something, but when I see them with two great squads and they haven't won anything, or they start slipping, and I know he's new, I have my doubts about them. I never wanted him at United. I knew he was. I just have the feeling he was never going to be a good fit for United. I need to see him win something, do something, prove to me that he's a top manager, and it makes me question what PSG's targets are in the near future, really, with Poch.
Fair enough. Before I get into this, let me just quickly get some comments. Shout out to Jira in the comments and Rich as well. Thank you so much for getting involved. Young Arvin says Neymar's birthday. Well, that is an issue. If that is, I mean, when is Neymar's birthday, Ahmed? When is it?
It's today.
It's today. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, all good then. Okay, so he's not going to be going on. No, it's his sister's birthday. That's the problem.
No. He needs to play. Come on, man. It's Barcelona. Like if he don't play, that's the biggest bottle job.
When is his sister's birthday though? Isn't that the problem year on year, that he decides to, disappear for his sister's birthday when it's important?
It's around the first leg in the Champions League. I
got to go, but thank you for having me on. I'll catch you Wednesday anyway. But
Yes.
great show. Thank you very much. Everybody hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. Please do that. It's a great channel. I'll catch you all later.
Appreciate you coming on, Indiana. See you in a bit, man. See you on Wednesday. See you later.
Red Devil.
Yes, Chief.
I need to criticize one more.
Okay. Go on. Okay.
I don't want to say this, but Kylian Mbappe, what are you doing?
Oh,
What are you doing?
Welcome. Welcome.
I love him. As a player, he's fantastic. He got the skills. He got the technique.
Prodigy.
He got the technique. But the problem is, he's matured this season in a bad way.
Yep.
The thing is, you got all the talent, man. Just play to your strength. Stop pretending to be Neymar. I see him drop deep, collecting the ball, and try to dribble and make chances out of nowhere. He's not that type of player. Like Neymar is a special guy. There's only few people who can play like Neymar. I would say maybe 5 in the world can play like Neymar. So why is he trying to do that? Like we all know Mbappe at his best, he's the guy who runs into spaces, creates spaces, run with the ball, being direct. I don't want to see him take the ball and try to take on players. That's not his game. And it's so weird because he has shit games, like really shit games. But then out of nowhere he scores 2 goals. Or last game we had, he scored a beautiful corner. The first long shot I've seen from him. But I don't know, man. I really hope he just stick to his strengths. I don't want to see him play like. It's a bit like when Griezmann and Messi plays in the same team, and Griezmann tries to take Messi's role. It's a bit the same. Play to your strength. When Mbappe plays to his strength, he's so dangerous, and this is a problem with him and with Poch. Poch needs to fix this. I just wanted to say that.
No, that's fair enough, because I've been saying this about Mbappe for a while, and my biggest criticism from what I observed was that it looked like, because I mean, you gotta understand, when Mbappe hit on was mentorship is important, I believe, and you gotta understand Mbappe is a kid. He's a kid, and so you often look to idolize your what's around you, and it was obvious to me that Neymar, based on the issue, that Neymar was a older brother type mentor figure to Mbappe, and so it looked to me like he was wanting to emulate that. And Neymar for me is not the type of person that you want to emulate. I'm not saying he's not talented. Sorry?
Because it's hard to emulate him. Like
no, I don't. I mean,
you can't play like Messi or Neymar. Like,
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean, in the development phase, because Neymar has ridiculously good talent, we agree that. But I mean, when you're developing as a young footballer, you need to at least be professional. You need to work on your strengths, work on your technique, do all these things. It's a development thing. And then when you begin to hit your prime, then okay, fine, you can do your flair and all the rest of it. That's cool.
And the crazy thing is that it isn't the case that Mbappe has low IQ, because he's one of the younger people I think has the highest IQ. That's why I would say he's clear of Rashford or those type of players, because his positioning and when to run and all those things is incredible. But I just think he wants to take responsibility. When you drag the team and always search for the ball, I don't want to see him do those stuff. That's Verratti's job. That's Neymar's job. So, no, I don't know, man. I'm a bit sad, to be honest.
Let me just quickly go through the comments before we quickly move on.
Wait, are we talking about Neymar?
We are talking about Neymar, but now you're back. We'll wrap up with Neymar. We have to talk about your man. Lille recruited good players like Victor Osimhen, Sanchez, Gabriel Smorey. That's Shane 10. Fair enough. Brigrav Condente says Mbappe's not that good. Neymar's miles ahead. Shane 10 says interesting to see where Hakimi goes now that Inter looking like they can't afford him. What does that mean? I thought what?
They cheated with the money, I think.
Wait, so because I thought they bought Hakimi.
Yeah, but I think they gone broke now, and they haven't paid Real Madrid yet or something like that.
No, they actually did pay us. It was fake news. They actually did pay us the money.
Oh, was it fake news?
Yeah, it was fake news.
Right, okay. Shout out to Rasmus, man. How you doing? Mbappe is just
Guys, respect
Nah, nah,
Mbappe.
nah.
I'm just
Nah, nah.
criticizing him this
See,
season.
I just think that Mbappe needs to leave PSG because when you're at PSG, right? When you any young player, you're always gonna mimic the better player, and he's trying to mimic Neymar play style, and that's not you, Mbappe. There's only one Neymar, there's only one Messi, there's only one Cristiano. Just be yourself. At the end of the day, like that's not your play style because when you see him trying to do a Bono pass, doing 20 step overs, I'm like, no, leave that to Neymar. Leave the free play to Neymar because that's not you. Neymar is a narcissist. That's just how he is. So don't be like Neymar. Just be yourself. And I think PSG is kind of stopping Mbappe from what Mbappe could be. I think he needs a better manager because I don't think Pochettino can unlock Mbappe. I think like a Klopp or even a Pep could unlock Mbappe like true potential because at the moment I don't see unless somehow PSG wins the Champions League, but I don't trust PSG enough to win it because I know they got to the final last season, but they didn't cross that line, they didn't cross the bridge. But who knows? I could be wrong. But
shout out to Mo here. Stop talking about Rashford. So he owns PSG. I mean, in Paris, yes, Rashford is the prince in Paris.
And again, I know his name was birthday. Is he partying with his sister today?
Well, we were having that conversation. We assume Neymar is absolute professional.
He will be in the game, guys. It will be criminal if he missed the game because it's against Barcelona, and he has been posting picture with Messi, see you soon, and all those things.
All right. Can I ask you guys this question? If Neymar never wins a Champions League with PSG at the end of his career, would he be the biggest flop of all time?
Never.
Yes, obviously.
No.
Yeah, he would.
How?
Because 222 million, not even one Champions League. You're the highest paid transfer of all time. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's more than that. Like I think he's better right now than he was in Barcelona.
Yeah, for sure. I think so too. Definitely.
So, playing like performing wise, I wouldn't say that. But if you think like that, yes.
Let's quickly move on. So, because obviously we hour in, so we've still got a few more things. Vilton, now that you're back, I thought it'd be good to bring up this guy. Apparently,
good dad, baby.
I didn't know this, but apparently, I mean, where's this? Which is I had no idea about this, but apparently, Burger King trolled Eden Hazard on Twitter. I didn't know this in the week. Apparently, they trolled him on Twitter.
This is sick, man. This is
that was
you guys, bro.
Wilton, I'm gonna let you lead here. What now? I guess. I mean, what now? Because it's clear that Eden Hazard's recurrent injuries. He's not lived up to it when he's played, although he's had one or two good performances. Is this a question now of just saying, right, this guy needs to basically be sold, or is there a way that his career at Real Madrid can even possibly be salvaged?
Okay, for Hazard, okay, I'm not gonna go on a Hazard rant. I already done that. But as for Hazard, I've always said that Hazard, if a Cristiano is still at the club, or I would say in Haaland, or a pure goal scorer, like a guy that's really consistent was at the club, yeah, buying Hazard was a good move. But the problem is, us Madridistas, we bought Hazard to replace Cristiano. When you have the number 7, you're here to represent Raul and Cristiano Ronaldo, all the legends that were that number 7. And Hazard doesn't live up to that. From the moment he got there in preseason, you decided to get overweight. You didn't start training early. You weren't good. Yes, I will say I'm gonna be a little bit easy on Hazard. I think that PSG game when we draw 2-2 against PSG, I think Hazard will took off because ever since that, and because let's be real, we gotta be real, guys. He was balling in that game before Munir injured him. Obviously, it wasn't Munir's fault, but ever since that injury, it just been injury after injury after injury. I feel like Hazard just took off after that. But it is what it is. He's a flop. I think he's the biggest flop at Madrid. You could argue, say, Michael Owen and Kaká, but it has to be Hazard because you're the number 7. You're the signing of the summer. You had so much. Everybody was hyping you, especially Double H, hyping you up. Hazard to me, I would say if you want to win a league, you buy an Hazard player. But at Chelsea, I've never seen Hazard did anything in the Champions League really for Chelsea because let's be real, you go to Real Madrid to win the Champions League to show your Champions League pride, but we buy Hazard, but we thinking that Hazard was the missing piece to help us win the Champions League again, but he's not. I just think it's time to leave because at the end of the day, Zidane was on that really wanted Hazard. He always wanted to sign Hazard. Yeah, Zidane wanted to get Pogba, Mbappe over that summer. He didn't get the player that he wanted. I get that, but at the same time, though, Hazard, it's injury after injury after injury. Like at this point, I'd rather have Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo play because that's how bad it's been. And Zidane was saying Gareth Bale is bad for the locker room, I think Hazard is bad vibe for the locker room, bro, because you have more injuries than goals at Real Madrid, bro. Like it's insane. Like you can keep on bringing. He was amazing at Chelsea, but this is not Chelsea. This is Real Madrid Football Club, and Hazard, you haven't delivered. And one key thing I would like to say, Hazard should be very, very lucky. There's no fan in the stadium. Because you saw what we did to Casillas and Cristiano when they're not performing. Yeah. Imagine what the fans would do to Hazard in a Bernabeu with the entire stadium full. Like, I don't think Hazard. I don't think he just have that mentality. He just doesn't have that mentality. And Hazard has to be considered as the biggest flop right now. Like, unless because Griezmann is balling right now. We were making fun of him in 2021. Griezmann is Barcelona arguably second best player. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Hazard to me is a flop. I think we should try sell him. Maybe do an Amazon deal, buy one get one free. I don't know who want to take Hazard. Maybe Arsenal. Arsenal seems like to take players from other big clubs. Maybe Arsenal might want to take him, but I don't think Hazard's going to be sold this summer. I'll be in shock if we sell him. How much money you guys think we would get if we were to sell Hazard this summer? Maybe around 50 mil. Can we even get 50, 60 million for Hazard?
40, 50.
First of all, who would even buy him?
Arsenal. I swear Arsenal would buy Hazard, bro.
I actually saw a report.
Arsenal would buy Hazard.
I actually saw a report. Chelsea are interested.
No way.
I'm not joking. I really saw it.
Or even a Serie A team I could see buying Hazard because I don't know what it is, but I guarantee you, don't be surprised this summer he balls for Belgium in the Euro. I'm not gonna be surprised if he balls for Belgium in the Euro. It just hasn't been working out. Hazard, you're at the sign of the summer, it didn't work out. You were overweight, and now Burger King is showing you. You deserve every single last of it. I've been backing you up. Yes, I rant about you, but I'm sorry, bro. It's time to go. It's time to cut it. It's a business. You don't deliver, you sold. We let Jovic. Jovic is where obviously he's on loan to Frankfurt, but he's pretty much gonna leave the club. Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo might even be gone too. But I'm sorry, Zidane, that player that you promised us, you didn't unlock him. Hazard he's finished, bro. I think he's the biggest flop of all time, in my personal opinion. He's finished. Like he's finished. We won La Liga without you last season. I'm trying to be positive here. I'm not really a negative. Yes, I like trolling a lot, but I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to the only way for Hazard to redeem himself is to lead us to a Champions League, and I don't see that happening. So I'm sorry. It's time to cut all losses and just sell him this summer if we can and salvage what we can get out of him. That's my 2 cents on it.
Fair enough. Just waiting for a few comments before I get to the rest of you guys. Obviously, you've seen some of them. Young Arben, who I know must be a Hazard fanboy, is obviously saying that it was Real Madrid that destroyed Eden Hazard. Shane being with the biggest flop, I don't care. Damien, obviously, bro, selling for cheeseburgers. Mo would be curse of the number 7 shirt, United and Madrid. Fair enough. Joel's Abraham, shout out to Joel, says Mbappe pace frightens defenders like Adamo 1 versus 1. You're dead. The quality manager can neutralize that, aka Flick. Shane says Rashford has got more goals in the UCL than Hazard. I mean, that isn't even difficult at this point, to be honest. Michael Owen curse United 7 and so you've given court number to the enemies. I mean, I don't know why that happened. Chelsea with Hazard for 40 million, rumors say. I mean, I maybe have to bring us up a HH. Well, actually, no, Abdullahi, you're here as a Chelsea fan. Would you take Hazard back for 40 million? With Pulisic, players that you have.
It's tough. That level is tough
Keep speaking.
because
I'll be back in a second.
the hazard of Chelsea is different than the hazard of Real Madrid. For me, I do not know what is going on with Eden Hazard in Real Madrid. Maybe the mental, because in Chelsea, he has the same mentality problem he has in Madrid. He has the same mentality in Chelsea. But I think the leeway he was getting in Chelsea is because he was performing week in and week out. So the mentality in him doesn't show off that much. But this problem is having in Real Madrid now. It was having the same problem in Chelsea, but it doesn't get that much injured because all ball go to Hazard in Chelsea. Costa, Fabregas, all ball goes to Eden Hazard in Chelsea. So there's no way it's gonna be this flop in Real Madrid that it's gonna be flop in Chelsea. So in this current Chelsea system, I don't see all ball go to Hazard because if he wants to play in this Chelsea system, he has to earn his spot in the Chelsea system. He has to. So with this Hazard, are we gonna spend 40 million on the flop or he's gonna be on the bench? It's gonna pay me because for 7.5 years, Hazard has been our most influential player in Chelsea. So if you come to Chelsea and just flop and sit on the bench, the one that sits on the Chelsea board entirely. So how are we gonna spend money on someone who's gonna sit on the bench? So it doesn't make any sense because the same mentality problem is having in Real Madrid, is having the same mentality problem in Chelsea. But the leeway he was getting in Chelsea was because we were surrounded with so many players who are on a world-class level, who help him improve as a player. Costa, Fabregas. So there were rejuvenated William. There were so many players who were like friends with Hazard, who understand the kind of way he plays. In training, Hazard doesn't train in training, doesn't do anything. He only do flicks, dribble, run around in training. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do no hard work, no gym, no nothing. So the manager knows that we don't need to worry about Hazard. On the pitch, he's gonna do his job. So I don't know in Madrid, maybe they do the same thing in Madrid or it's different. That's the problem we're facing with Hazard now. Will I spend 40 million on him? I'm on the hedge at the moment.
I've never seen this before from a superstar. Like, just injuries after injuries. Like, it's insane to me because
Milton is all about mentality problem because he had this same mentality problem in Chelsea, but it wasn't vindicated or show off because he was surrounded with so many players who will help him improve as a player.
that is
Because
true.
then in Chelsea, Chelsea is literally Hazard FC. In Madrid, it's not Hazard FC. There's Benzema, there's Sergio Ramos. There's so many players there. So many players.
But that's
So
the
in Chelsea,
thing,
it was only Hazard FC. All ball goes to Hazard. Defender, goalkeeper, midfielder, all ball to Hazard. That was the reason it was shining up. It was literally one man team.
But that's the other thing too. We need a left winger, and Hazard isn't. He obviously he could play as a left winger, but he's not the traditional left winger that we know. Like we needed like a Cristiano Ronaldo type of player, like an Mbappe that could work the flank. Because the thing about Hazard, when he was at Chelsea, you had Diego Costa that was scoring goals. Even in Belgium, he's surrounded by Lukaku, De Bruyne, Munir, Fellini. He's surrounded by a lot of talent, and because at Real Madrid right now, we're in a transition period of time, and we know Benzema. Benzema wasn't really the main guy. Yes, it was always Cristiano Ronaldo that was the main guy.
Yeah,
and I just don't think that like I don't understand. I get it why we got Hazard. We needed to buy somebody, but I didn't see why is he then winning by Hazard for. I think we to be honest with you, that money we got with Hazard, we should have just saved it because it's a waste of money right now when you think about it. Because we won the league without him, and if we would have saved that money, maybe this season we would have been able to buy in Haaland when Mbappe this summer. But I don't know. I don't think the club's gonna sell him. I just don't see it. If it happens, I'll be happy because Hazard. I just think that. It's just seeing your superstar in the locker room, that iconic number 7. I just think it's toxic for the locker room because it's just not healthy. It's not healthy, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I didn't think he was gonna flop. Like obviously, I didn't think he was gonna flop this bad, but I also itches that Hazard to me, he's not a player that like has the elite mentality. You buy Hazard to win a Premier League or La Liga or Bundesliga. You buy him to win the league. Because let's be real, at Chelsea, he didn't do anything in the Champions League. and you go to Real Madrid to win the Champions League. So what were you really gonna do, Hazard, for Real Madrid? I'm like, were you just expecting us to just carry you and it would have been okay? You get a Champions League medal or not? Yes, I get it. The injuries are not your fault, but bro, like we gave you 3 months off. You came back, you performed like trash, and now you injure again. You have more injuries than goals this season. That tells you a lot. Maybe somebody, one of you, maybe Chelsea fan, you put a juju on them. I don't know.
Milton,
Yeah,
it is his fault though for being injured.
yeah. I totally agree
The
because
guy is fat. Like
because
you can't put it like on someone else.
because they did say that. They did say because of his weight, it kind of was too much on his ankle, something like that. That's what I read on the reports. So it is kind of his fault. Like you should have been getting ready in preseason. I don't know how you show a fat. When I watched that preseason game against Atletico Madrid, I was like, bro, like he's fat. Like, what is this? Like he's fat.
Well, Wilson Young says
Very
it's
talkative.
Will's fault, not Hazard. Create a team around him. You can't play Hazard so wide.
But bro, Hazard's been injured though. What do you expect? Okay, you saying it's Real fault? Is it our fault that he's getting injured too? He's always injured, bro. He's injured for. He's not even gonna be in the Atalanta game.
The most disrespectful thing I saw is when he came to Real Madrid. He was also fat. So he wasn't only fat this season. He was fat the season he got transferred. For me, that's crazy. You made one of the biggest moves
That's
in
what
your
I'm
life,
saying, bro.
and you're coming in fat. Nah. But I would also say that shouldn't Real Madrid do something about this? Like, how can they just let him be fat like that? Shouldn't they tell him you need to be on a diet or you need
That's
to
the
do that?
thing. Hazard is pretty much Zidane Mount to what Lampard was to Mount. Like, because Zidane loves Hazard. He starts Hazard. If Hazard is available, even if Vinicius Junior is on a run of form, I guarantee you right now. Obviously, Vinny's gonna play because Rodrigo is injured. Vinny's gonna play. I guarantee you, if Vinicius Junior is having a really good run of form, Hazard's gonna be back and he's gonna start him. Because Zidane said it himself too. That's his favorite player. He always wanted Hazard at Madrid, and Hazard always wanted to come to Madrid. And plus, like Real Madrid, it's mostly like how would I say this? Like it's also politics in it too, because even if Hazard's not performing, he's still selling jerseys, so you still gotta play him technically. That it's all politics, but Zidane always gonna start Hazard no matter what, even if he's on a bad form. If Hazard's available to play, he's gonna play him, which is what we don't want. That's why I'm saying again, Hazard is lucky there's no fan in the stadium, because I don't think Hazard would have been able to handle that amount of booing that the fans would have been doing to him. Because at Chelsea, I don't think the Chelsea fans treated him like he was a god. He was able to do anything he wanted.
Yeah, I think he needs a.
Vilton, that's why I said in Chelsea, all ball goes to him. Chelsea, Chelsea is called Hazard FC. It's not even Chelsea FC. It's called Hazard FC because Costa, Fabregas, all those defenders give him all the balls.
Young, sorry.
So it's called Hazard
Young
FC.
Sorry for after Young says, how can Hazard be injured every game, but he never got injured at Chelsea? Something happening behind the scenes.
Exactly.
But why is it only him that's getting injured on the team?
He likes to
Consistent.
That I don't get. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's maybe in England they have bland food. Like in Spain they have paella. I think he's enjoying himself a bit too much. Not gonna lie.
He could die in England because we just had fish and chips, So that's
But
it.
I just want to I agree with Wilton. I think if the fans was there, it would be a completely different thing. Like we saw it with Neymar. The guy wanted to leave PSG, and he looked a bit uninterested when he played. But then I remember I think it was the first game of the season last year. The fans in PSG was really angry, especially the ultras, and they booed him so hard. And after that game, his mentality has changed completely for PSG. He dies for the club, and I really think Hazard needs the same.
Fair enough. Right, let's quickly move on because we talked about Eden Hazard, which is last final two topics. We're going to be going to the Serie A right now. Inter and Conte. Obviously, Inter, I think, were playing Fiorentina this evening, and I think they won that 2-0. And as we can see, Inter Milan with obviously a game in hand over Milan, Roma, and 2 games in hand over Juve, are currently top of Serie A. Inter obviously getting a dub over AC Milan in the Coppa, and then obviously in the league. What is my question here? Is this Inter Milan's Serie A title to lose?
No, because they play more games than AC Milan. Yes, obviously they're gonna play AC Milan and Inter Milan.
Sorry, interruption, but are we actually saying because I'm not hearing many people say AC Milan are favourites to win Serie A?
No, they shouldn't be, because they don't have the squad depth to do it. But at the same time, though, remember when Ibra got injured, we we're all saying, "Oh, they're gonna start losing him." But even though they lose him, they have a really strong mentality to just go on and win the next game. But yeah, I would say, yeah, it is Inter Milan title to lose, because you beat Juve. You haven't beat Juve in what, 8-9 years, something like that. You beat Juve. Now you just have to beat AC Milan, and it's pretty much yours to lose. If Conte doesn't win this, my goodness, Lord have mercy on Conte's soul. But yeah, you could say, yeah, you definitely it's their title to lose. I know they play one extra game than AC Milan. AC Milan obviously plays tomorrow, but it's definitely their title to lose, because and again, Conte, like, they bought you to win it, because you got all the players that you wanted it. Like, you have to deliver the Serie A, because Juve, let's be real, Pirlo is from the road. Like, Pirlo doesn't know anything about managing. You can't let a rookie manager, that guy he's coaching license this morning, win the Serie A over you. I know Juve have the better squad. I still think Juve have a slightly better squad. Well, I'm not a Juve fan. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I would say Juve have a better squad. When you have Cristiano Ronaldo, it's just the X factor. He's the X factor. But Inter Milan, they need to win this. They need to win this. If they don't, obviously Conte is gonna get sacked. But my goodness, Inter Milan, it's just hard to lose, because everybody been saying this is their year. Everybody thought last year because Juve are not looking. I know they got like 2 games, but they're not looking like the.
And on top of that, Inter Milan obviously are not in the Europa League. They're not in the Champions League. So really, all Inter Milan have to focus on is the league. Whereas obviously Milan are in the Europa League still, and Juventus are in the Roma. I think Roma are not in the conversation. Let's be real. But Juventus obviously in the Champions League. So again, Inter Milan having the advantage that they just have to focus on league form, 1 game a week or 2, depending on how things are for the rest of the season. You know.
Wait, didn't Inter finish 3rd in the group?
No, they finished 4th. Bottom.
They finished 4th.
Behind Shakhtar.
I completely forgot about that.
Remember, because they played was a goalless draw. I've got no idea why Shakhtar didn't go for the win, because if they'd won the game, they would have.
Shakhtar said they didn't want to take the risk, because they say if they lost that game, they would have got nothing. At least they're in the Europa League.
Europa League, exactly. So, but I guess my point is that, like, is almost they have less games compared to the other teams around them, and so they should almost technically have no excuse but to be able, in terms of fitness and freshness, to go on. So it should be Inter's to lose. But yeah, Ahmed, man, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I really think Inter should win it, but I don't think they will.
Okay.
I think AC has been in great form this year.
Okay.
I think they have been unbeaten and lost 1 game against Juventus in the league. And that's really good, considering the amount of quality Juventus have and Inter has to AC to compete with those. And I just want to say, the game against, in the semi-final, or the quarterfinals, Milan versus Inter, that was rigged. Like, Milan got robbed. AC Milan got robbed.
Yes.
No, bro, that was Conte masterclass. Ericsson.
Wait. How did Zlatan get a red card there? He really touched the guy. He really touched the guy.
Zlatan versus Lukaku. We know who wins in that debate, man.
I just see Inter as bottle jobs. I really do. Like, they are the bottle jobs of Italy. Like, how did they win the league last season? How are they going out in the Champions League all the time? I just can't see them win. And as Wilton said, we talked about when Zlatan got injured. Can they cope without him? And they did. They have Rebic as a backup, and he did pretty well. And the only thing I was scared of was the center backs. What happens if Kjaer or the other guy gets injured? But they bought Tamori, who's been playing pretty well so far. So even though they get injuries, like AC Milan has had a lot of injuries recently. Benacer, Theo Hernandez, Rafael Leao, Zlatan. These are big players, key players, and that's why they lost against Juventus as well. So I think they have quality in the squad, and they can really win it this season.
Fair enough. Damien, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it should be Inter to win the league, but I don't know. I don't trust Conte, to be honest.
Okay.
But maybe they do win it, but I don't want to put my money on it. But hopefully 10 in a row doesn't really happen, because that would be really sad for 10 in a row to happen. But hopefully someone else wins it. If it's not Juve, then I'm good with whoever wins it. But hopefully it's not Juve.
So basically, anyone is happy with anyone else but Juve winning the league, because 10 in a row would be ridiculous.
No,
AC Milan.
I really want AC to win.
I want AC to win.
Yeah, I want AC to win it. That's just how I am, though. If it's not Real Madrid that's winning it, if you won the title last season, I don't want you to win it this season. I want a different team to win it. But if it's Real Madrid going 10 in a row, we could win that every single year. But I want Inter Milan or AC Milan to win it. I would want Inter more to win it, just because I want the pressure to be off Conte. I'm a good guy like that, because he's been getting criticized a lot. But if AC Milan wins it, maybe it could be a new chapter where AC Milan finally goes back to the Champions League and build a process from there and see if they can go back to Champions League glory days.
Well, they're finishing top 4 anyway. I'm fairly sure that AC Milan are finishing top 4, so they're definitely going to be back in the Champions League. But you're right, like some sort of semblance of a title, I think would make a big difference. Core, no longer BD. What are your thoughts on Conte and Inter Milan? Are you there, Core? He's there. Well, okay. Does anyone have ever thoughts on Intercom before we go on to a final topic?
I think AC Milan. I want AC Milan to win it because of Zlatan. For me, just because of Zlatan, I want AC Milan to win it because it's been underrated. People doesn't rate Zlatan that much because they say it's like a league merchant. It's called this, it's called that. If AC Milan wins Scudetto with Zlatan turning 40, and then win the Scudetto, we need the conversation.
No CL.
No, we don't. No CL. No
Abdullahi.
CL, bro. No
Abdullahi.
CL.
No World Cup, bro.
It's all the Ronaldo fanboys who says that. No, but Zlatan has already showed who is the better player between them two. One guy scores. Listen, one guy scores tap-ins and acts like a ghost in the whole game, and one guy impacts the game. So,
Bro, I don't understand that. Bro, Red Devil Studio, help me understand that logic. This is what the Messi fanboys love saying about Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh my God, all he does is score goals. He doesn't impact the game.
Milton, I'm talking about this season, not overall. In his career.
In fact, what I'm going to do is because everyone saw my versus. It was just a brief versus video on Lukaku versus Zlatan, which was just a funny thing. But I am thinking about bringing my versus back, so it would be interesting to do a Zlatan versus Ronaldo Serie A style, not in general, just Serie A style for this. So I might just get one of you guys on to vote on maybe for Ronaldo and Armin for Zlatan to just sort of debate and discuss later on. So we could definitely do that. But let me just quickly move on, because I think this is the last topic, and so I appreciate it's getting a bit late. And this is about Leroy Sane actually, and I thought.
Have you talked about Jose? Red Devil, say it's a flop. Have you talked about Jose being the flop?
I'm not really talking about. I'll get to you guys, Jose or Leroy. Who should we discuss?
I think we need to talk about Jose because
Talk about Jose.
I can understand people are giving Jose Mourinho. For me as a Chelsea fan, it's like he has given us so many achievements, so many greatness as a Chelsea fan. I won't dispute that. But my problem with Jose is this defensive football is playing. It needs to stop this rubbish. This doesn't work anymore. This is a technological system era we have at the moment. No more park the bus, park the train, park the what are they calling it? Park everything. When you're not Diego Simeone, who park all the buses in the street, it doesn't make any. So Osel is telling me without Harry Kane, Tottenham Hotspur can flourish. Is that what he's telling me? Without Harry Kane, they can't play football. No, I can't accept that. I cannot accept that. No, I can't. I cannot.
To be fair with you, I think Jose been finished since he won that title with Chelsea in 2015.
Wow.
That's where I really think he was finished. Because you can't keep that's the thing about look at the team that he's been to. Ever since that Chelsea, because he went to obviously Manchester United, then he got sacked. Now he's at Spurs. Because he hasn't really improved Spurs because they're in the same position that they're in last season. If you look at the table, because last season I'm sure Spurs finished 5th or 6th. I don't remember. And this season they're still in the same position. I don't think they're gonna get top 4. And this park the bus system, if Harry Kane doesn't play, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Because yes, he's there to give him a trophy, which I don't think he's gonna be City in that cup final. To be honest with you, I just think that Jose, it's time for him to retire. To be honest with you, I'm being so serious. I don't want him to be like Wenger. It's time for him to retire or change your style of football, because even Pep has changed his style of football. You could even say Simeone too. Atletico doesn't play that much deep anymore. They kind of play they play like regular football. They don't just park the bus anymore. They don't do that. But Jose Mourinho, it's been the same tactics for God how long I know how long it's been. But I just think that he's finished, bro. I love Mourinho, but I really think he's finished because we criticize Pep on not winning the championship with City, but he's winning Premier League trophies with City and he was winning Bundesliga with Germany. But
that was my agenda with Pep. It's not about winning 12. My agenda with Pep is about the tiki-taka football he plays. He has to stop that thing because this is APL. That was my people doesn't understand my agenda with him.
But
it's not about trophies.
But that tiki-taka football he plays worked during the BPL. He completely destroyed the.
Yes, he did. But let that get found out. So that's my problem with him. Can he adapt to the way EPL plays? And he's been doing it this year. Credit to him. He's been doing it this year. That's why I say my agenda with him is almost getting over. If we win the championship Man City, I'm dropping everything.
Because I'm looking at it right now. What big club would want to buy Jose Mourinho besides maybe an AC?
Arsenal.
Like
no,
Arsenal.
Ahmed, would you take a PSG?
No, I wouldn't. But like, guys,
exactly. Bayern wouldn't take him. Madrid wouldn't take him. Barca wouldn't take him.
With Pep.
Maybe Juve. I could see a Juve taking him because Italian love defensive football.
Yeah, I think that if it all goes balls up, and for example Conte, what I think is if Conte balls up Serie A, I think, and Jose continues to bowl Spurs, I think Jose goes back to Inter Milan.
I don't think it works because I think if Antonio Conte doesn't want to square the two, Mas Allegri is taking over in Inter Milan. There's a report is coming back to Inter Milan to take over from Conte.
But then, I mean, I don't know. I mean, possibly. What about Pirlo and Juventus if they balls up and they crash out?
I don't think Allegri will go to Juventus back. He want to prove a point to Juventus by going to Inter Milan.
So you think that maybe Jose would Juventus take? I think it's
possibly because he's a winner. So Juventus want a winner in that team. So say, and Jose has coached Ronaldo. I think he has coached Ronaldo before. He's Madrid, right?
But they had issue though when he was leaving. He had issue with Cristiano. I think they still do. So I don't know how well that would have worked. But at the same time, though, Cristiano, you are declining. You are almost towards the end of your career. So maybe it's water under the bridge now. But I don't know how it would have worked out. But again, Mourinho, bro, relax, bro. Ronaldo is an impactor. He scored goals. He scored goals, bro. That's what he's there for. Doesn't he have more goals than Ibra this season? I'm confused. Doesn't he have more goals than Ibra this season?
Yeah, Ibra's been injured half of the game.
Ibra been scoring penalties.
But Ibra has
Exactly.
also missed 4
This is why
penalties.
Cristiano is better. Cristiano is able to keep his body healthy
Well,
so
let's
he doesn't get injured.
Wait. Can I just comment on this Mourinho thing?
Okay, go on.
Why are you guys comparing with Frodiola? Like, listen, Frodiola, he's scared. He would never go to United at that stage. He would never go to
Why
Tottenham at
would
this
he?
stage.
Why would he if you know
He's
the boys not
scared.
gonna back him up? Why would you
No,
go
but
to a club
you
where
can't
you know
really.
the boys not gonna back you up?
No, but you can't really look. Mourinho takes these chances. He went to Inter. He went to all these teams.
Mm.
Frodiola isn't that type of guy. He will go to the
Yeah.
best team who will back him, and he
Yeah.
wants a player
What
he
best team?
wants.
The
And let's be
only-
honest. Look at
the only best team
Tottenham
he
team.
went to was Bayern. That's it. That's the only good team he went to. Bayern.
But City as well with the backing they have.
Yeah, money.
Pep Guardiola, no, not even the money, but like even the infrastructure. So, for example, the former Barcelona technical director moved to Manchester City, so which was obviously a big pull. So, I think what I was trying to say is that Pep goes to places that have like a sort of a structure in place for him to basically do his thing, and obviously backing as a result. The structure which you see in Bayern and Man City as well.
Have you guys seen a club backing a manager so much as City has backed Pep? The guy bought a goalkeeper one season and changed him the season after. The guy bought a defense for 500
Yeah, but
million.
you got
This is ridiculous.
But City's a project though. City always been a project, and
but
plus they
that's the
have the financial to do it too.
Yeah, but that's the
City,
thing. You can't say that Pep won the trophies in City while Jose failed at United and Spurs. That is
okay. I'm
two
actually.
different
Why
clubs.
didn't City try getting Jose Mourinho? Why didn't they try to get Jose Mourinho before he went to United?
No, but obviously Pep was available, and I
But
think
my point exactly.
No, but they'd already. To be fair to them, like that's why I mentioned the technical director. So the technical director that is at Manchester City. So the sporting director. That's why it's important because the sporting director at Manchester City was the ex-technical at Barcelona. They had a very good relationship at that time. So, and a sporting director is very, very important when regarding your relationship with sporting in terms of getting the players that you want, the philosophy that you want, etc. That's one of the reasons you could argue that Mourinho struggled because the person he was relating to was Ed Woodward, who's an accountant and he's not best friends with anyone, has zero footballing experience. So
I think
you can easily see with Pep.
And why does when Jose leave a club, there's always chaos at towards the end? With Chelsea, there was chaos. United, chaos. Real Madrid, there was chaos. Why can't he not just leave the club simple like everybody else?
Well, cool. What you about to say something cool? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Mourinho is this guy that he's done really well. Look at this Spurs squad. There's competition everywhere. For me, I can see him winning something with Spurs. I think he has more of a chance of winning something than, let's say, Pioli from AC Milan, Edin Terzic from Dortmund, or so forth. He has the players. He has really good players. Joe Rondon is a really quality defender. Gareth Bale is a quality player indeed. And yeah, sometimes I really do criticize Jose for going so pragmatic and letting the other team really get under his skin because every time you start seeing that, it's just like that they're gonna lose. So I just I don't know what to say about Jose. I think for me, Jose, like I said, maybe we need to give him a little bit more time. Maybe give him 2 seasons. Give him 2 more seasons. If he doesn't do well in 2 more seasons, give him some good signings and so forth. I think they'll be very good. I don't think Carlos Vinicius is anywhere near Harry Kane's level. I'm gonna be honest now.
Who do you
I
think
don't
they have in
think.
the squad?
Bro, have you seen this? Oh my god,
Bro, this squad is shit. They have Eric
Oh
Dyer
my
as a centre
goodness,
back.
Yo,
Did you
have you
did you
seen
see-
Spurs squad? Let me
Bro,
let me tell you
Did you see
something.
what Eric Dyer did
That
against
Spurs
Chelsea?
squad, that Spurs,
not that
yo,
good.
yo,
Eric
that
Dyer
Spurs
almost
squad,
lobbed the keeper. He almost chipped the keeper.
that Spurs squad can beat Barcelona, bro. That Spurs squad can beat PSG.
No,
It's
okay.
facts. It's facts.
Barcelona has
But
far
to
more
be
players.
fair though, Spurs in a cup
Ah,
final 2
I
years
don't know
ago.
They're a
about that.
two-man team.
Wait,
They're a two-man
2 years
team.
ago, Spurs was in the Champions League final. Now they're in the cup final. So this squad isn't that bad. Obviously, they
telling
can't beat up
you,
Barcelona.
it's not
It is
bad.
bad.
That's
Look
too
at the
much.
squad.
They
Look at
can't
the
beat up
squad.
Barcelona. They're not bad. Because
They only have.
at one point, a lot of people were saying they were in the title race. I never believed they were in the title race. They were in first place
Yeah.
at one point. Like for a good two weeks or so, they were in
2
first
weeks or
place.
so, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
dependent.
guys.
They're dependent on Kane, though. I think this.
Yeah,
this
that's the thing.
is
That's
but-
the other thing.
Hmm?
They're
That's what
heavily
I'm
rely on.
saying. That's
They're
what I'm
heavily rely on
Wait,
Kane and
can I
Son.
go?
If Kane and
It,
Son are
it
not there,
depends. Hmm.
Sorry.
But
No,
it's
it-
just showed how shit they are then.
No. It depends.
but it's the
Look,
same with PSG though. If Neymar and Mbappe are not there,
No.
there's no
You
function
you're
at the
sounding.
club.
No, because
Yeah.
now you're sounding like a Premier League fan. Listen, we have Verratti, we have Marquinhos,
Bro,
Kimpembe,
no,
Keylor
you
Navas,
can't,
these
you
kind of
can't
players.
tell me
but let me tell
honestly.
you something.
Okay, wait,
bro.
wait.
That
Let
Spurs
me-
team-
Okay. So one on time. Okay, so Vilton, finish your point. I'm going to go to Paul and then a round off with Ahmed.
All right, no, I'm just gonna
Wait,
ask
can I go
Ahmad,
after?
bro.
Also, Damien. Yeah, so got
Yeah,
Damien
I
and Vilton. Go on.
You haven't. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Neymar doesn't play, you guys haven't gone to the Champions League quarterfinal. When Neymar doesn't play, it's just like with Harry Kane. If Harry Kane's not there, it's him and Spurs. It doesn't function right. Yeah, Son is a good player.
Yeah.
We know that, but I just think they just need each other. When you heavily relying on two players like that, it's just the same situation with Liverpool. They're heavily relying on Salah and Mane to score goals right now because at the point they're toothless right now in attack. It's just how it is.
I disagree so
Bro.
much.
Let me just quickly read his comments. And so Mo obviously says 2 more seasons. He never lasts that long anywhere. That is a fair point. He had extra time. Shout out, man. Says Ahmed Diallo on fire tonight. 1 goal and 3 assists, and also short hat-trick reminds you of a young Saka. He's doing quite well actually in the academy. And some gems of baller. Joe Abraham says he has his favorites, and the one he dislikes treats them like crap. 0 man management skills, using same tactics from 10 years ago. Damien, you wanted to speak. What were your thoughts? Final thoughts?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
something.
Let's just go to. So before we go to calls, it Damien, you want to speak? Was it Core? I can't remember.
It was you were gonna come to me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, bro, Joe Rondon kid. I've not seen an English defender who defends like that kid. That kid is absolutely incredible. Like when I watched him last time, I was like, whoa, this kid might actually take like the Premier League by storm. And one thing, Joe Rondon, that kid is amazing. I'm telling you this right now, bro. And one thing I want to say is, even if they don't win the Carabao Cup this season, they still are in the FA Cup. They still are in the Europa League. They can win those trophies, yo. Like, bro, that Spurs team is really good. Like, I don't know, bro. And you have Gareth Bale on the bench. Come on now, man. Come on.
Gareth Bale hasn't
you
been
seen-
doing anything.
Have you seen Bale?
No.
He's so uninterested.
Gareth
He wants to play golf.
Bro,
He wants to play
he
golf.
doesn't have to do anything. That's the thing. He doesn't have to do anything because in Real Madrid, when he was in Real Madrid in the 2017-18 final, he just came off the bench and he didn't do anything. But all he did was just score a goal and won the Champions League. That's the
No,
thing
you
people
can't
don't
say that.
understand.
Okay.
It's
You can't
about
say that.
the big moments. And Gareth Bale shows in the big moments. And in finals against Man City, that's when you're going to need Gareth Bale. And I'm telling you this right now, that Spurs squad that you're looking at right now, all they need is a better striker. Carlos Vinicius is nowhere near Harry Kane. I'm sorry to say this. But if they can get a better striker to tag along with Harry Kane, that's a really good team. I don't know what you guys think.
No.
They did beat United 6-1 at Old Trafford. To be
Yeah,
fair,
no.
Exactly.
No.
Remember this.
Okay. You know, Vilton.
Remember that.
This 6-1 thing that people go on about. Oh, they beat 6-1 at Old Trafford. Okay, first and foremost, it was against 10 men. It was the beginning of the season, and the reality is that just because we put 6 past the Manchester United team, if we're looking at the consistency of Manchester United over a season and the pencil player, it's clearly obvious who's the better manager this season. I'm just going to put it out there.
So you guys better than Klopp? That's what you're saying?
With
So you
Vilton,
guys better than Klopp?
No, but
Solskjaer's
like
better
you
than
say that
Klopp.
Southampton are a crap team because we scored 9 past them. Like they're not a crap team. They're just
Wilton,
unlucky.
So
With-
Solskjaer's better than Ralph Hasenhuttl. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. To be honest, no. I think Rapinoe is a better manager and coach than Solskjaer. You know, that's what I'm saying. So, like,
is it even a big achievement to win 6-1 against a Europa League team? No, I don't think so. But no, can I
even
just
though
respond to
this
Core?
said Europa League
The
team,
disrespect, man.
knocked you out of the Champions League. And,
Can I just respond to Core?
yeah,
I
go on.
really don't see what he sees in that Tottenham squad. Like, it's a difference between Bale and Real, because Bale in Real, he had an amazing squad around him. Bale could never drag a team right now. The guy looks uninterested. Like, the only thing I see is ridiculous. I saw him warm up the whole game, and he didn't even come on. It's ridiculous. The guy is finished.
No.
Listen, how can you think that this team is good enough with Eric Dyer at the back? It's like me saying, I think United will win the league with Maguire. It will never happen. Like, Eric Dyer is so crap. He almost scored the own goal yesterday.
I don't think you understand. It's all about big moments. Big moments, big moments, big moments.
United,
How
sorry,
many?
he will last next season, but sacked by the middle of next season. Yeah, that's. I think if he wins, what I would say before we go into it, because I just want to get a few more people in before we round off. I do think if he does somehow win the Carabao Cup, that will buy him some time, because I think the most important thing this season, I mean, maybe it's just me, but the impression I got from Spurs is it wasn't so much top 4, even though getting to the Champions League and getting the money from that is important. I think it was getting a trophy.
Are they in the FA Cup still, by the way?
They're still in it.
Yes.
Yeah, they play Everton. Yes, they play Everton.
Yeah,
And then
Everton.
They're in the Europa League
okay,
too.
Okay, so
But-
they
yeah,
still have
so-
a chance to win some.
yeah,
trophies.
so
Okay,
then-
can I ask you a question? Can I ask
So
you a
me?
question? No, all of you guys.
All of us. Okay, go on.
Like, this is my opinion on it. Mourinho, when he is happy, and when the players play for him, the guy is dangerous. We all know about that. But when I saw that Chelsea game, the players are
I
not
was
playing
pissed
for him.
off.
Look,
Ahmed,
did
I
you
was
see the
pissed off
move?
in that
Did you
match.
see the movement? Did you see the
Yeah.
movement? Because they
Yeah,
didn't have anything. They,
Yeah.
get-
The
they were
off
just
the ball
paused.
movement wasn't good, to be honest. That game,
They're
I'll
not
be
playing
honest
for
with
him. That's the thing.
you.
I think they're
Even
tired.
against
Ahmed,
Liverpool, even
the
against
Chelsea
Liverpool,
Tottenham
off the
match
ball
pissed me
movement
off
was
because
horrible.
we should have scored 3 or 4 more goals. We were not clean looking in that match. It should have, the match should have ended in the first half already. Just end the match in the first half.
Did you
Don't
see
come
how
out in the
shit
second
they
half.
were? They were so shit. Tottenham. The thing why I think they were so dangerous in the beginning of the season was purely because they played for the manager. They did everything for Mourinho, and I honestly thought that they would go far in the league because they played for the manager. But do you think Ndombele wants to play this type of game?
No,
A
he
guy with
doesn't.
his cheek like him want to play defensive football?
No.
I think they're tired of him. To be
Even
honest,
Son
No.
Heung-min,
But Ahmed,
for me,
Ahmed,
Son Heung-min should leave that Tottenham Hotspur if you want to win trophies and Harry Kane. They should both leave because Son Heung-min can go to any team and win trophies. He's that good of a player. He's just that good
and
of a
when,
player.
when
I'll
have you
take him
guys,
at Real Madrid over Hazard.
when have you guys seen
oh yeah,
Mourinho
Son is quality, man. Son is quality.
Uh,
No, Ahmed. What I want to say is, but this is the thing here is, so are you trying to tell me that when they were under Pochettino, they played better football? I mean, they won some. Okay, under Pochettino, they played better football, but what did they win? That's the question. You see, you know that is where it all comes down to. What did you win? What did you win?
Mm.
What did you win? They can
Pochettino was
play
back.
crap. Spurs can play crap football with this
I
squad.
see where Corey's coming from because I've
You-
seen it before. I've seen it before where if a team
Mhm.
parks the bus, and
Yeah.
if a team parks the bus, they lose. Oh my God, why is the manager using that boring tactic? But if a team plays tackle football and loses,
Exactly.
they were just unlucky. I've seen
No,
it all
but
the time.
Vilton,
with Wenger.
Exactly.
point. You're
Exactly.
missing
This
the
is
point,
how it
Vilton.
works now in football right now.
No, Vilton,
This
you're
is how
missing
the
the point.
fans.
Okay.
I'm not
Mhm.
criticizing defensive football. I'm criticizing that the players aren't playing for him.
No, I get it. I know what you're saying, but
No,
at the
that
same
one I
time,
understand.
they're still in
That
a
one I
cup final. They still got
Uh,
the FA Cup, the
when
cup
has
final,
Mourinho
and
turned?
the Europa League.
Has
So-
Mourinho ever turned something?
Let's so obviously we'll go on. Let's start. First of all, who hasn't spoken on Mourinho yet? Has everyone spoken?
Oh yeah,
Me,
and
me.
what
I
questions
haven't
did you guys ask? Because I wasn't
Well-
here when you asked those questions.
We'll come back to that corner second. I just want to clarify that everyone's spoken about Mourinho.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, Damien. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Look, This guy's been finished since that Chelsea league win. And I'll tell you something. After beating City 2-0, Tottenham have picked up 13 points from 36 available in the games after. And you say that Spurs are going to give him more time. I don't think this guy's going to win any trophies after this guy is finished. And he's been finished. So I don't see why Tottenham will give them any time. And in the Carabao Cup final, they'll get slapped up, and in FA Cup they'll get slapped up too. Europa League they get slapped up, and the Spurs team is so overrated. They're just a two-man team.
Can I respond to Damien? I'm sorry, but you see, this is the problem with Barcelona. This is the problem with Barcelona fans. You see, for Pep, right? Because Pep coached Barcelona and everything, right? What they're gonna say is, oh, Pep, you know what, Pep, okay, he played beautiful football. He was just unlucky. He lost to flipping Leon. It's okay, it's normal, it's not
Messi's
anything.
world-class core.
But when it comes to a Mourinho guy like this, who plays pragmatic football, who sits back like nobody else and plays boring football, they heavily criticize him. I just do not understand these
Wait,
Barcelona
Cora,
fans.
I have a question. Did you think like that before?
No, I never thought like that. I never thought like
The
that.
reason why I'm laughing because the way Core said it, Barca fan, because this guy used to support Barca, City, Dortmund. It's just funny how you say.
But you support City, Core. When did you support City?
First time.
Fine.
No,
But you're buying now, though. You're buying.
Yeah, I'm buying. Yeah,
you're buying. Okay.
Red Devil is coming to United very soon. It's not the
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's just round things off. First and foremost, if anyone has any questions in the comments, wants to ask the panel, please do get them in. We'll just.
I have a question for the panel.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Go for it, man.
Can you really honestly call yourself a football fan if you keep on switching team left and right?
Hey.
That's not a panel question, though, is it? Is that a panel question, there, Milton?
We need a win. Come on, we need a win.
That wasn't fair.
After this, it's gonna be retirement.
Toxic question.
That was a low blow. That was a low blow.
Yeah, that was a low blow. Anyways, what I'm saying is there any questions that you guys asked when I was not here
beforehand? Okay, just if anyone has any questions in the comment, just let us know. And then what I would say, because I don't want to go through every single thing, but I guess what just run from you, maybe just give us your thoughts on Liverpool City. And who do you think actually is going to win that game? Since that's a big game in the weekend.
Yeah. Man, I'm so interested to see this Kabak guy play in this back four with Liverpool. I've watched him in the Bundesliga for a long time, and I can say this kid is a really, really good defender. He's not like a Van Dijk. He's not the guy who dictates play from the back, but what I think I see from him is he's a guy who, if you pair him up with another ball playmaking center back, he can do very, very well, I think what I would say is Liverpool have problems with basically Trent. I think Trent is the problem. He pushes way too high, and I think when he pushes way too high, he leaves a lot of space from the back. And I think that's the problem with this game, is City can expose Liverpool with their overlapping attacking overloads in the wing areas. And City look really good. I'm gonna be honest. Laporte is really good. Ruben Diaz has been playing some really good football lately. I'm gonna say this, okay? I'm gonna go with a draw. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a draw. I think Liverpool and City. I think it will be a good game, but I think maybe the thing about Liverpool is they never lose to City in Anfield. That's my problem. You see, what I'm trying to say they have a really good record in Anfield against City, so it's either going to be a Liverpool win or a draw. So I'm going to go with a Liverpool win or a draw. I think this is going to be that type of game. That's if Allison, that's another thing. If Allison can come back on time on Sunday and play that game, that would be interesting because I think that will also change the whole trajectory of the game, you know. But yeah, I got Liverpool win or a draw. Yeah.
I'm
What
on
happened?
mute. Sorry. Damien, some questions. Can Leicester make top 4?
To be honest with you, I might be crazy to say this, but I actually see Chelsea making top 4 with Tuchel. I could see Chelsea
Yeah,
go on a streak
yeah.
with Tuchel and make top 4.
Chelsea
I
are
agree.
back.
Why is Alonso playing good all of a sudden? I'm confused.
Oh,
Because
Abdullah.
that game, my only worry for Chelsea is that when they go against other team, I hope they're more clinical. Because yesterday,
Yeah,
that game should have been finished in like in the 50, 60 minutes because they missed so many
yeah,
chance after chance. Werner
yeah,
missing chance. Mount.
yeah,
You could say Werner. I don't know who chance was it, but where they could have passed the ball to I don't know who was on the right wing for Chelsea, but they could have easily passed that ball to the right winger of Chelsea and they would have scored that goal. But instead, I don't remember exactly, but
I
Chelsea
think it was
looking pretty
Mount.
good.
No,
Yeah,
Kovacic. It was Kovacic.
yeah,
Kovacic.
Kovacic should have passed that ball to Hudson-Odoi and it would have been a goal, but he went for
yeah.
glory. But Chelsea looking good under Tuchel. Yes, I know, guys. I get it. They're becoming a pass merchant like Barcelona of the 2011. Yes, they pass the ball a lot, but it's working. Alonso's playing well.
Mhm.
The only concern for Chelsea is that Werner's still not scoring goals yet. Kovacic is balling out. Conte looking like a monster again, and Alonso, it maybe might not be on the break academy anymore. I actually see Chelsea making top 4, but they have to also pray that Leicester drop points. What if Liverpool doesn't make top 4? But
No, no, no.
Man, that'd be
United will
Bro,
crazy,
make
man.
that's
that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy,
But
man.
I actually could see Chelsea make top 4. I could actually
Yeah.
see it because Leicester, we know they could bottle it, but I could see Chelsea make top 4 this season.
Can I add something about Chelsea?
okay.
You know, this Tuchel guy, you guys are seeing him play this kind of possession-based type football. I'm telling you, what I saw from Tuchel in the Champions League last season, this guy plays a different way. The way he kind of initiates things is very
Mm.
different from the way other managers does it. So, for example, in big games, he'll go with the 4-4-2 because he wants to sit back and hit the teams with counterattacks. So he had the ability to hit teams with a counterattack because he had players like Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, Icardi, these type of guys who can play on the counterattack and cause problems. And we saw that against Dortmund, we saw that against Leipzig, we saw that against Atlanta, what he did with that PSG team. And that's what he has in Chelsea now. Chelsea can play Werner and Abraham as a 2 in those type of big games and also sit back. You see, and then you're gonna see a totally different Tuchel. And that's my thing is Tuchel is an adaptable manager. Pep is not as adaptable. He can do something like that, but Tuchel can do that.
No, but Pep
I think
is similar to.
mhm.
I
I
would
don't
like.
think so.
I would say that
I
Klopp is
don't
completely different. Klopp is a
I,
system
you,
merchant.
you
Right.
know why I'm saying this? Because when Tuchel came to PSG, the first like last season especially, how he initiated even against Bayern Munich, he went with a 2. He went with 2 wingers up top and played 4 at the back and also 4, at the back to in the midfield. So
I completely agree with you. Like
he,
he's
mhm.
like his way of adapting formation. He doesn't even adapt his style of play that much. He just changes system, but still play the same
Mhm.
style. Like the guy is a
Oh
philosopher.
yes,
The same thing with
oh
Pep.
yes.
He's a philosopher. Those
Let
kind
me.
of manager I
He's
love.
a philosopher. He's a
Sorry,
philosopher.
sorry, Paul. Not to move, just because we have to round up soon. So I just want to just quickly just answer the remaining questions. So, but
Mhm,
we definitely should get back to this conversation.
mhm.
So Damien, your top 5 defenders might be a bit too long, so I'm going to just get to two more. So Bilton says, obviously, can Sevilla beat Barcelona in the Copa del Rey?
Of course.
Yes,
Of
of
course.
course they can. Bro. I believe they
Of
will, and I
course.
believe they can, and
Relax,
they have to.
bro. Relax. They're
They're
not gonna beat
trash.
us.
Damien, do you think? So you think you've got the win, Damien? The Barcelona got this,
Well,
Damien?
yeah. Well, obviously Sevilla can. Anything can happen in football, but I think we got this. I think that we got this cup in the bag. Clip this all you want. We're gonna win the Copa del Rey.
Is this game before the PSG one?
It's,
I think
it's
Yes,
in
the
the
first
middle.
leg is.
The first leg is.
It's in the middle, I think.
The
Yeah.
second leg is gonna be in the middle of it.
United.
You know why I'm saying Sevilla can beat Barcelona? It's
Mhm.
just because of this simple reason. Sevilla, right? If they hit Barcelona on the counterattack, they're gonna cause problems to that back four. Or whether it be a back four, back three, they can cause problems. And also the crosses that Sevilla have really good crossers. That's why I don't fancy Dortmund against Sevilla, because I actually think that's gonna be a bloodbath. I think Sevilla is gonna beat them 3-0
That's
or
your X team,
5-0.
man. That's your X team, man.
But yeah, Barcelona, my goodness, like they can seriously lose to Sevilla because of the pace that they have on their attack. I think that's what's gonna
Quick
do
one
it.
in here. Can Leipzig give Liverpool a run for their money in the round of 16? They beat Diego
Of
Ball
course,
last
Yeah.
season.
of course.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
trust in Nagels.
Yeah.
Two months. That's the
can't.
game. I feel like if there's gonna be an upset, it's either gonna be that game or the Real Madrid Atalanta game. Those are the game I think the upset might be coming from, because Liverpool are toothless in attack, and they can expose that high line too. Leipzig's are very dangerous on the counter attack. So yeah,
No,
but
Vinto,
it's gonna be an interesting game though, because both teams love pushing the fullbacks really high up on the pitch. So it's gonna be a very interesting game.
it's two
I'll tell
system
you
managers.
something. I would suggest for Nagelsmann to start Konate. I think if he starts Konate, he would really cause a lot of problems to that Liverpool attack. So yeah, I would say start Konate.
I don't think Leipzig have a chance. It's two arrogant system managers going at each other. Like,
But Nagelsmann's still young though. He's still
Listen,
young.
Yeah, but
I
Nagelsmann
lost the
can play
respect.
in the
Respect.
professional
He
football.
got Leipzig to
bro.
CL7.
No. I don't respect him after the United game. How can you keep playing the same style when United is one of the most dangerous counter-attacking teams?
They
But
won
he beat them
No, he
3-0
got,
at his
no.
own
They got
The
out.
home.
first
They
game,
got out
the
the
first
group.
game,
the
5-0.
5-0. But they
Yeah,
changed the
that was
system and they beat
embarrassing.
United though. They
No, but
beat
that was
United.
Change the
embarrassing.
system, beat
Yeah,
It's
United.
not
That's
embarrassing. It's
And
not
also,
how
to
you.
be fair, yes, they did win, but it was 3-2. It
But
wasn't
they
like
still won. They
yeah,
still
they still
won.
won. They still
still
won.
He
won.
lost my
To be
respect
fair,
after that game. He
how
lost my
did they
respect.
lose your respect? I could say the same thing about PSG. Y'all lost my respect when y'all lost 2-1 to United at home, but y'all won
And
3-1
you
the next
bottled
game.
against Barcelona
It's
6-1. Like,
different
come
though.
on
That's
now.
different. Bidico, we're talking about something. But yeah,
Let's
it's 3-1.
let me
Like,
quickly
they
to
won.
the last game. Let's go to the last game's question because I've got to get off. Can Atletico make a deep run in the CL or possibly winning it? Says David.
Yes.
Is that
Yes,
reverse
because-
jinx from Damien there? Is that reverse jinxing? You're like,
No,
so
I
Atletico-
really do think. I think they're gonna be Chelsea just because Atletico's paying the perfect manager. They're gonna sit because they know Tuchel's a passing merchant. He's a possession merchant. So that's the perfect team for Atletico. And I'm gonna tell you this, Abdullah. If you guys don't get that away goal, just say goodbye. You out. You have to get an away goal. I'm being
Bro,
serious.
they don't.
You have to get
They're
an away
screwed.
goal. You have to get an away goal, Atletico, bro. And are we really gonna trust Werner? Tammy Abraham?
No.
I trust
I
him
think
now.
that's an interesting game. I
Mount.
think that's interesting. I can't predict that game. That game is like 50-50. Anyone can take it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
for sure. But I'm gonna just say this: so if Chelsea doesn't get that away goal, I don't see Chelsea going to the next round. I just don't.
Yeah.
That's true.
Fair enough, guys. Right. Oh, last comment, sort of asking us.
Come on, God, why you guys have to be so rude?
Sorry,
man?
already. We should be bruiser. We should be bruiser.
I lost the respect for the referees, not the players.
Abdullah, you round us off. Do you think that Atletico Madrid have a chance of deep running into the CL, and they're going to round off?
Yeah, it's tough. I haven't watched much of Atletico this season.
Do you think Chelsea? Do you think Chelsea will beat Atletico? Who do you think is winning?
Where Devils we get a chance, man. We get a chance. Chill. We get a chance. If it was the 2 years apprenticeship, I'm really giving up. It's a bad match. But at the moment, we get a chance. Let's see. It's still early, but we get a chance. How far we can go, I don't know. But we get a chance.
Semi-final minimum. Hashtag semi-final minimum. Hashtag semi-final.
I'm not coming out as semi-final minimum.
Semi-final minimum.
I mean, to be honest, if you do beat Atletico, you do have a chance, I guess.
Yeah, especially when you have the German Zidane too. Like, how could you not have a chance?
Nah, stop that. Do it and stop.
The English.
No. Last year was a failure.
This year,
let's take it like match for match. We'll see.
Isn't Tuchel building his team around Mason Mount? Because he seems to like this kid now. He seems to.
No, I don't think the problem is, see, the English press, all of them are idiots. All of them are stupid. All of them.
Okay.
They are making Mason Mount and Thomas Tuchel a scapegoat, and this is what I don't like. I can't have Mason Mount as my best player in Chelsea. It's not possible because other players are far better than this player.
But Tuchel likes him, Abdullahi.
Tuchel likes him. That one doesn't mean he's his best player. No. The reason I said it yesterday, the reason he played against Tottenham was because Kai Havertz was injured and Hakim Ziyech was not 100% fully fit to play, and he doesn't want to take a risk on him. That was the only reason they played. I keep saying it. If Kai Havertz was fully fit yesterday, Havertz is playing that match, not Mason Mount. So I don't know the problem of the English press putting too much pressure on Thomas Tuchel to play Mason Mount. If you look at Mason Mount yesterday, he has two or three chances. He should have passes or just shoot, but his decision making is poor. Between him and Marcus Rashford, I don't know who has a worse decision making. I don't know. Decision making is poor. I don't know. I don't get it. He's a good player, but his decision making is class A.
Yeah, to be fair, when Havertz come back, Havertz most likely just because he's German. Because I remember when I told you and Eddie that Rudiger was gonna start all the game if he's healthy, and it's happening. I knew Rudiger was gonna start because Tuchel always wanted that guy, and plus it's biased. He's German, bro. It's just how it is. I guarantee when Havertz is healthy, Havertz Mount most likely gonna be on the bench, or unless Tuchel is gonna be those managers that are afraid to stand up to the media.
But the thing is,
go ahead.
But the thing is, built on like Havertz and Leverkusen, he never really played. Havertz and Leverkusen, he never really played in a 2. You know, he played more as like in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. So I just don't know how that's gonna work. If Chelsea go to 4-4-2 and you play Werner and Abraham, you know, so what does that mean? Are they gonna?
Thomas Tuchel is an adaptable manager. He could adapt. I've been saying it. I think Kai Havertz could play more as a first nine, as an inside forward, together with Timo Werner. It could work. I've been saying this thing. It could work.
Yeah.
Because in under Leverkusen, I've seen him play as the first nine before, playing together. I've seen that play that. So it could work. It depends on how Thomas Tuchel wants to use the formation to suit both Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. It could work because Kai Havertz is very tall and he can score with his head very well. It's very good on the head. So if you play together, you can play them together and just Kai Havertz could slightly play more as a number 10, the way Firmino plays for Liverpool. It could be the number 9, just a little bit right outside, put Timo Werner maybe like a central forward. So when the ball comes in, just lay off to Timo Werner to score goals. So it could work. It depends on how he wants to play the both of them together.
Right, Abdullah, I'm going to cut you off because we have to sound off here. So, but we are going to be doing next week a Champions League preview. Obviously, United are not in Champions League. We're not.
Them too. I'm going to be doing on my channel. Guys, on my channel, I'm going to be doing this.
To Abdullah's channel, as well as Indiana that was on here as well. And check out all these guys on
the Champions League predictors. Hey.
Damien, Ahmed, guys, I'm gonna be doing a Champions League preview. Guys, you can turn on to.
When are you doing that one, Abdullah?
I'm gonna probably next week. Yep, next week.
Okay.
Next week.
Okay. Yep.
And I'll end with this comment: we will take the 21 instead. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Peace. Hope you enjoyed the show. All the best.